Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to my Sunday morning chat on conscious living, conscious eating. I hope you're having a beautiful start to your day. Or those of you who live, oh, way south, you're actually a day ahead of us. So, welcome and thank you for joining me. Today's chat is on coconuts. I love coconuts. And this past 2.5 weeks, I was just immersed in some delicious fresh coconut water um, from our friend Jose in Uvita, Costa Rica. And so I wanted to share that. And I know there's different information going around about coconut. You know, it's a fat, it's not good for you. And I hope to sort of present some information that will enlighten you and lighten up your heart and so many different parts of your body when you drink the water and actually eat the coconut itself. And I am enjoying the cooler weather of the Pacific Northwest. Um, and I don't miss the high heat and humidity, but I miss my family who won't be back at the end of June. And I also miss the many birds found in the tropics and the fresh coconut water that we would buy from Jose. And he would take his machete and cut the top off the green coconut. And we were just instantly refreshed by the sweet coconut water and all its electrolytes and nutrients. Most coconut we're used to having is the older brown coconut with that hard shell and the thick layer of coconut meat. The coconut tree grows from a single seed, which is an entire coconut, taking 3 and up to 8 years to bear fruit and living between 60 and 100 years. Wow. Each coconut takes almost a year to develop from a flower into a fruit. So, a bit of history. You know me, I love to. Where's it all come from? How is it used? And it's commonly believed that the name coconut was given by the Portuguese sailors in the 16th century because the three holes in the coconut looked like a human face. Coco, meaning laughing face or a grimace. The English word nut was only added later on. The coconut is not a nut at all, but it's stone fruit, a bit like a cherry. Now, the most striking finding of this is from a website I found, and they were doing DNA studies of the coconut and the different kinds of coconut around the world. And so this new DNA analysis is that the Pacific and the Indian Ocean coconuts are quite distinct genetically. And about a third of the total genetic diversity can be partitioned between two groups that correspond to the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. And I will quote the link so you can look at it for yourself. In the Pacific, coconuts likely were first cultivated on the islands in Southeast Asia, the Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia. And in the Indian Ocean, the likely center of cultivation was the southern periphery of India, Sri Lanka, the Maldives. And one exception to the general Pacific Indian Ocean split is the Western Indian Ocean, specifically Madagascar and the Comoros Islands, where Gunn, the scientist, had collected the samples. The coconuts there are a genetic mixture of the Indian Ocean type and the Pacific type. Olson and his colleagues believe the Pacific coconuts were introduced to the Indian Ocean a couple of thousand years ago by ancient Austronesians establishing trade routes connecting Southeast Asia to Madagascar and coastal East Africa. And I thought this was interesting. The present day inhabitants of the Madagascar highlands are descendants of the ancient Austronesians, according to Olson. And I will include a link to a map where you can actually see the spread of these different types of coconut. And the coconuts you find today in Florida are largely the Indian Ocean type, Olson says, which is why they tend to have this new kaffa form, sort of a pointed form. Far from being a mishmash, coconut DNA preserves a record of human cultivation, voyages of exploration, trade, and colonization. Since antiquity, coconut palms have been used for their wood, oil, sap, and the core. And it's particularly in the Western world, over 10 years ago, professional and top amateur athletes began drinking coconut water for its natural electrolyte properties. Currently, appreciation of natural coconut water is growing. The coconut industry is using the husk fiber from the pith as raw material for carpets, car seat stuffing, and in agriculture as fertilizers, and for us as mulch for our home gardens. And the hardcore is used to make handcrafts. And did you know that during World War II, the liquid coconut water was used as an intravenous fluid for wounded soldiers? Apparently, people did receive this to replace lost blood plasma. And one soldier on the Solomon Islands was given the fluid instead of a blood transfusion as an emergency treatment. Interesting. And from Joyful Belly and John Immel, coconut water quenches even the strongest thirst. The electrolyte rich drinks help replenish the minerals and salts as well as fluid, helping your body absorb water for relief of cellular thirst. Coconut water contains a small amount of nutritive fat, giving it a creamy feeling on the tongue that leaves a parched palate feeling moist. And John continues to describe coconut water. It's also a coolant, meaning it is soothing, anti-inflammatory for your skin and in your gut. Drinking it provides immediate relief. Its creaminess soothes inflamed mucosal membranes in the entire digestive tract. If you are suffering from dryness or heat conditions of the GI, or even simple dehydration, coconut water will cool and soothe. And apparently, the cooling property suppresses the appetite. As a nutritive brain tonic, coconut water calms and grounds anxious, heated thoughts that so easily flare on the summer afternoon. By nature an ambitious organ, the liver falls victim to intense hot-blooded emotions and pitta, internal heat conditions. And pitta is one of the three doshas. And I encourage you to go to John's site and take the dosha test and see which dosha you are. And the sweet, delicious water restores your affectionate side, making coconut water a popular aphrodisiac in the tropics. It's also a balm for your nerves. If you are overly nervous and strung out, and your nerves may be parched for fats, all nerves are coated in a fatty layer called the myelin sheath, which guides nerve impulses and insulates the neurons from hyperactivity. And when the fatty layer is dried out or deficient, your nerves can be easily agitated and anxious, thirsting for a balm that can ease this overstimulation. Coconut milk has a luxuriant richness that feeds you and your liver. Ayurveda suggests that an aggravated liver should be moistened with fats and pleased by sweet, delightful aromas like rose petals and coconut. The liver falls victim to intense hot-blooded emotions, and the coconut milk replenishes a liver deficient in fats and has special cooling properties to soothe an overheated liver. And this gift of nature, like so many of the herbs and the plants we eat each day from around the world, has the same intelligence that can match the intelligence of our body, especially our gut microbiome. The following information comes from Anthony Williams' book, Life Changing Foods, published in 2016. According to Anthony and the Spirit of Compassion, who has guided Anthony for over 40 years, Coconut works with other healing foods to enhance their health benefits and supercharges them for you to receive the maximum benefits possible from that plant. Coconut water in a smoothie with parsley increases the parsley's ability to remove unproductive acids from your body and assist those trace minerals, vitamins, and amino acids to be better utilized. Adding coconut meat to a salad with healing foods like cucumbers, lettuce, tomato, or spinach makes them more nutritious and life changing. Coconut water provides vital glucose and critical mineral salts, including potassium and sodium, to the bloodstream. And this is a fundamental component of our neurotransmitter chemical production. If we don't have the neurotransmitter chemicals we need, it can lead to insomnia, neurological sleep apnea, and other sleep disorders. Coconut water's trace minerals and electrolytes also nourish the reproductive tissue. And it's important for people with hypoglycemia and other blood sugar disorders. And it's a great benefit for those with over or underactive adrenal glands, Alzheimer's, or dementia. The oil from the coconut meat is antipathogenic due to the lauric acid content combined with the other antioxidants in it, and it's considered an antiviral and antibacterial food. Anthony mentions many conditions and symptoms that coconut can assist with. I would recommend signing out his books from your local library and have a read. And read with an open mind and an open heart. Coconut in the evening during a full moon apparently can help those who have trouble sleeping by providing extra mineral salts and electrolytes for your neurotransmitters and electrical impulses, a benefit from the moon's gravitational pull. Another unusual benefit Anthony mentions is for those who have a fear of swimming or open waters. As for the coconuts float over vast stretches of water and they take on the knowledge of the ocean as they float. And when you eat coconut, you inherit the natural instinct for life on the water and reducing your aquatic anxiety. Give it a try. The emotional support from eating coconut is for those who are narcissistic or self consumed by opening the emotional channel to help them let go of the self addiction and help include others' needs as well as their own. And the spiritual lesson from coconuts is their wisdom of survival. By dropping the coconuts during a windstorm, they are less vulnerable to toppling over. So when life gets stormy, what precious things do we need to let go of? Coconut trees teach us that in the end, the sun comes back out, and what matters most is that you're okay. Choosing the freshest green coconuts, refrigerate them. And when buying coconut water, do not drink it if it's turning deep pink or reddish. And if the coconut is cracked, I wouldn't purchase it. Coconut water should be sweet. It should not have an off taste. So if it is, take it back to the store and pick another one because it's really hard to tell, especially with the brown hard coconuts, because as that water dries up, it forms the coconut meat. And even you can get some sweet juice from the brown coconuts. But if you're traveling in the tropics, I highly recommend getting on the street, like from somebody like Jose, who is honest and kind and loving and wants to help nourish us. And I've got a recipe for yellow coconut curry that sounds really yummy. I haven't tried it yet, but it's got kabocha squash, potatoes, carrots, coconut oil, onions, some lots of garlic, add some ginger, some curry powder, coconut milk, honey, salt, and some cilantro, and a lime and red pepper for topping. Basically, you just um, boil the squash, and then you just drain it. You dice the potatoes and carrots, and then you just remove the seeds from the squash and return to the pot with the vegetables. Cover to steam, and you add water to it, of course, and add more water as needed. Steam until the vegetables are just cooked through, and then for the curry, warm the coconut oil in a large pot. Add the onions, saute till they're soft and fragrant, and add a bit of water because Anthony doesn't use a lot of oil in his frying. And just add your spices and add the coconut milk and the honey and the salt, and then add to the vegetables. Bring to a low simmer for about 10 minutes, and serve it topped with cilantro, lime juice, and some red pepper. So I know you've probably got lots of different recipes for your coconut. I'd love to hear from them on the Facebook page. And how do they make you feel when you drink the coconut water or you have the coconut milk and you add it to your cooking? It's got just some beautiful benefits. So I invite you to enjoy coconut in your life, even if you're on the Pacific Northwest coast. There are sources where you can get it from. And I just wish you a beautiful, beautiful, nourishing day. Um, enjoy the sunshine, walking on the earth herself, giving thanks to all the food that we eat and the fruits and the juices that we make from fresh food. So enjoy that whole natural, fresh food, and that will nourish your body, and you'll feel better. You'll be healthier, and you will feel better. And if you've got lots of chronic issues, I invite you to look at Anthony's books and see where that can take you. And it might mean letting go of those, like the coconut in the storm, letting go of the old things that don't serve us anymore. Are you willing to make some changes that will help you in the long run? And I'll just grab a magnificent card for today. And let's see, a purple one. What we've got today. Oh, it says, I am safe. And we all are. Remember that after the storm, the calm will come. I am surrounded by people who take good care of me. So, who are you taking care of, and who's taking care of you? Loving you and letting you be who you are in this moment. And know that, you know what? We're always changing. The universe is changing, the earth is changing. And can we go with those changes, with joy in our hearts, peacefulness, and find the peace within you? Namaste, and just enjoy your day, your upcoming week. Until we meet again, thank you.